journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
The following is a presentation of TFNN. Trade what you see with Larry Pesavento. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. Now, Larry Pesavento.
Okay, folks, this is the bond market. We were expecting a rally coming in here. We hit the 786 here the other day. Didn't quite make the ABCD, but it was telling us that it was trying to rally. As we look at this on the hourly basis, this was another one. I saw this, you can see the ABCD that we had here at 113.09. And so this morning I said I would be a seller there with my stop right above there. Now, it certainly is not working right now. It's only out a few $100s, but a few $100s is quite a bit. And if it gets stopped out, you'll be losing just about $600 on that if in fact it does get stopped out, which it certainly could. However, what we're looking at are other things that look really exciting. If you remember last week, we were talking about the British pound and the fact that it was acting very, very bullish. Let me just get up here and show you this on this daily chart, because that's what we were watching. If we have the daily chart, you'll see here, there's where we were, folks. Last Thursday, if you can see here, Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday. And you can see Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. There's today. Now, there was the exact shut the front door and raise the rent. I don't know who this is. I'm not going to worry about it. I got to turn it off. Sorry. Uh-oh. I don't know who that is, so I'm not going to worry about it. Neither should you. Anyway, there was the exact low on the 3A2 of the British pound. And as you can see here, we're having a very good rally, well over 100 and some pips, which is quite unusual to be up $800. You'll notice on the smaller time frame, we had the pullback right here on Sunday night. There's the pullback right there at the exact 618 retracement. And all we're doing now in the British pound is making this ABCD pattern right here. You'll see it right there. There's your AB leg. There's your CD leg right there, right on the money, okay? Now, if you remember on Friday, it was in the video that I sent out on Sunday. Let's get this up since we're talking about currencies. I want to bring it up with the one currency that we like the best, which was the Japanese yen. That was me to short the dollar against the Japanese yen. Get this hourly chart up. I think it was a 4-hour. I'm 100% sure of that. Yep, that's what we want to watch is the 4-hour. Get it up here, and you'll be able to see it pretty easy. There's where we were, banging right against right there. There's where we were on Friday. That's Thursday. There's Friday, and then here's Sunday, and you can see we're down now 200 pips, a little more than 200 pips from that level. It came to the exact price, folks, at 149. The high was 149.08, and now we're trading at 147.24. And now you'll see we do have an ABCD coming in here. And whether the dollar's made a big turn or not, I'm not sure, folks, because I look at this as the amount of how much I have to risk when I'm watching something. But look at this. Since July, the dollar has just been, screaming up here against the yen, and now it's having a correction. So what is the correction going to be? Let's just look at it. There it is right there, folks. There's your 3A2 coming in here at 146.70. Really important. And the reasoning for that is, look, from your low right back here, if you believe in ABCD, there's your ABCD coming in here exactly at the exactly 382. You've got to take that trade. This is a 5-day correction in a bull market, folks. So you want to go long the dollar at that 147, let's call it 146.80 level. Well, there it is right there. Yeah, 146.80, and put your stop 100 pips away. Now these are big moves. That's $2,000 because it's $12.50 a pip. So that's a really big move. So keep that one in mind. It looks really interesting. We had one other one today. Let me get these straightened out so I can share. I've got so many things to cover that I wanted to put them in order here, but I wanted to show you the natural gas, one of our favorite things that we like to trade because of the fabulous volatility that you get and the leverage that you get. There was our high from last week here on the 18th, folks. Look at our overnight high here last night. Exactly to the 382, right on the money at 43.46. It's now down $1,500, folks. The margin on this only 3,200. That's 50% of the margin. That would be like on the S&P, margin's 25,000 to make 12,500 in a day. That doesn't happen very often. Well, it does when Trump speaks, but that's pretty much what we're watching here. Anyway, that's the one we were watching very, very closely here today. Okay, now someone asked me earlier to show the corn chart, because I told the folks, if you don't want, if you're going to do these, don't do both corn and don't beans. Pick one, because you're going to be doubled up the grain. If the weather changed bad, you could have lost on both of them. But you can see here, December corn is now down $500 from the high, whereas beans have dropped $1,000. We recommended the beans because it's not affected this time of the year by any hot weather, and that's why you're seeing a big difference in here. Okay, so those are some of the decisions you have to make when you're trading to find out what's going on. Now, people have asked me what I think is going on with these markets. Folks, it's just tremendous volatility that we're seeing. I mean, volatility like we haven't seen. Folks, the market was going straight up, and so was the volatility index. People were buying insurance against a down move. I've never seen that before. I mean, stocks go straight up and volatility goes up. Something's happening, but what it is, I'm not sure. All I know is it's going to be exciting. Okay, now let's move over here and we'll take a look. I think we just made a new high in the NASDAQ just now. Let me no, we're still very, very close. We just backed off. In fact, it's so bullish this morning. Let's just see if this is an hourly chart. Let's see if the old 382 stopped it right on the money. There's your low right here this morning. And boy, look at these 200-point swings. Holy moly, guacamole. It doesn't even make a 382 retracement, and neither did the S&P. Neither one of them did that. So telling you that something exciting is really happening in these markets. And I don't know where they're going to go, folks. All I do is I look at the charts. I've never seen so many A, B, C, D patterns in all of the years I've been looking at ABCDs, and that goes back a long time. Maybe this is the time where it says, well, ABCs are the thing of the past. We'll have to move over to the 200-day moving average. We'll have to find that out down the road if that's what we're going to be watching here. Okay, now let's take a look at the U.S. dollar. If you remember, we were in the midst of a nice rally in the U.S. dollar. Let's get that daily chart up. There's where we were. You see, we went right up into this area. Remember these 13 days? Okay, now what we're doing is we're backing off a little bit. Now, this is not the end of the U.S. dollar, folks. This is not the end of the U.S. dollar. Look at this. 13 days up, and now we're backing off just a little bit. So what we're going to do is we're going to blow this up and see where the 382 comes in. And I can see right now that it's just a little above where we are right now. Let's just double check and we'll see where we are. And there it is right there. Coming down a little bit more yet. We'll take a break, folks. 877-927-6648.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. For free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter, a must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the Newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Hey folks, this is the chart of the NASDAQ on a weekly. This is the one that's most surprising today. It doesn't surprise me that the stock indices have jumped way up, but what surprises me is this hasn't even taken out the high of Friday as of yet. It's a point away. I mean, certainly it's going to, but this is such a perfect pattern. It's certainly going to be shattered, I would believe, because it's trading it back. I think it's up about, no, it's actually still down. Yeah, it's up just a tiny bit right now. That's what surprised me the most. The one thing that I'm not surprised about, folks, is I don't stand in front of these freight trains. You know, when I put an order in, I lose, it's not a big deal. I go on to the next one because I know it's just right around the corner that you're going to be able to find something that's going to, you know, make a couple of bucks. Look at what we've done in gold here these last few weeks. You know, that's a tremendous move. We've gotten almost all of that. Well, we have gotten all of it. Well, no, not the last $20 today. All right, let's take a look at the euro. Now, here's the euro. As you can see here, now we were talking about that dollar index, so don't give it up now. There's the first major ABCD, okay? The first major ABCD in the euro, okay? Going back to the 1st of July. Here we are on the 21st. That was 3 weeks ago. Okay, now let's look at it like an ABC person would. There's the high right here. There's your pullback. Just about to that level right there, and it comes in within, looks like, whoopsie daisy, I just missed that by just a second. The old ABCD is a little bit sensitive here, and there it is right there. By the way, I don't have any AI stuff, folks, for a while because Ensign has been hacked. Someone is trying to get in to find out what's going on with one of their programs. Anyway, there's where the problem, it should have got up to this level right here. It didn't even take out the high of the 16th as of yet. But that is an ABCD. It hasn't quite completed yet. But remember, this has been down now for 3 weeks, so we're due to see a rally. And of course, you know, we've had the rally. You can see that on the way down what we did. You'll be able to see it without too much trouble. We made that ABCD pattern without any trouble. I think this is this is it right here. This is the one I was watching because it took us several days to get there. And then there's your bottom right in here. Now we're having a little bit of a rally. So the dollar is not dead, folks. It's just having a relatively bad day. We're not involved with that. So it's not much anything that we're paying attention to here. All right, let's get this out of the way. And now we had a couple questions about couple of stocks here. Let me get them up here so that we can look at them. Hold on one second. It'll just be a minute. I want to show you. I had Apple up here. For some reason, I lost it. Hold on a second here. Apple is up pretty good today. Get this up here. We'll see where we are. There it is. It's still gapped up, and it's still doing pretty good. We had a high of 215. We're at 213 right now. That's doing pretty good. The one that's really doing good today is Broadcom. You can see Broadcom has gone up and made another new high than the previous high. That's not unusual. There it is right there. That's why that stock index is going crazy in the NASDAQ, because some of these are still making new highs. The other one that is looking very interesting, and that's the Google. Do you remember the Google? We had that head and shoulders pattern. I think it broke today. Let's get the weekly up and take a look at it, because I heard it in the news here. Oh, yes, I think we have. We might have just done that on the weekly. Yep. No, not yet. Not yet. No, there it is right here. There's your left shoulder right here. That's at that 92. Here's where we are right now. There's your head and shoulders pattern coming in right here. And if we get above this, another couple of points. This is why you've had these real strong days in here. That's telling us that that's why that NASDAQ still hasn't turned down yet. Folks, I don't know when it's going to turn down, but I do know one thing. When it does turn down, it's going to hurt a lot of people, and it won't be us. That much I can tell you. I don't trade the NASDAQ very often. I will someday, but right now I'm not going to do that. Just looking at the weekly chart on this, you can see here, shut the front door and get back to the daily, Larry. Yeah, there's what I want to show you. There's the daily right here. We have a chance here to make this last little ABCD. Let's see how close we are to it right now. And there we are today. That's it. We're going to find out if that's going to be right. We can't, it should not get up. It's trading at 190. It can't get above 195. It's within $5 of breaking that head and shoulders on the weekly pattern. Then we'll find out whether it's going to be the same or not. All right. All righty, let's remember our guest today is Norm Winsky, and he always, when he comes on, he asks to come on days when there's very big astro things, and he was very excited about what's going on astrologically. There's a lot of things this week, folks. We've got a new moon coming up and a whole bunch of other stuff that Norm will be telling us about that should be exciting. Tomorrow's guest will be Paula Webb on Wednesday. We're going to have Mike Moore on Thursday, Bill Cerubi, and on Friday we're going to have Jeff Hughes. So we've got a full thing, and then on Friday we have the live trading. Also, that will be should be some excitement. All right, let's get this out of the way here. Get the Google out of the way, and Tesla's coming up, folks. So bear with me here. We'll be right there. Get Apple out of the way. Get Tesla here. Just a second. Tesla's coming up here. 1 second, and there's where we are. Okay. Bear with me, folks. Bear with me here. Just a second. Tesla, there it is right here. Haven't even looked at it today. I don't know what it's doing. It should be up like everything else. Actually, my goodness, it's up hardly anything. Let's just see where we are here. Oh, that's a weekly. Let's get the daily up, Larry, see what's going on. Okay, well, we were higher. We were higher a little bit earlier. We got as high as 36. We're now at 29. So that's a little tiny pattern. Let's just look at this on a 4-hour. Maybe there's an ABCD there that we missed. Yeah, see, this is still a 135 pattern, folks. There's your 1, there's your 3, there's your 5 coming in. Let's see how close it came to the high. That would have been right at. Let's get that out of the way. Hold on a second. And there's a few things that are bearish in these markets, but very few. It's basically a few stocks that are running this stuff, folks, but that's enough. See, we went a little above the 61% retracement of that move, but that is a 135. And if you look at this, boy, that's got some pretty good symmetry. Let's see how close the highs are to lining up. Oh my goodness, that's a really nice 135. Look at that. High should be made today. There's your high, 135. High today was 138. Exactly 138, and we're now trading $10 lower at 329. Let's look at this on a much smaller time frame. Yeah, there was the high right there, and then you can see that we've had a sell-off at that level. There's a interesting ABCD here. If you like ABCDs, there's your A leg. B leg, C leg, D leg. How close does it come to the high? Let's see what we got. Oh, it said it should get to 338.58, and it only got to 338 even, so it missed it by 50 cents. Well, we can't count that one because that means it doesn't work. I guess if it's off by half a cent on a stock that's selling for $330, okay? All right, we're going to have a guest coming up. His name is Norman Winsky. Norman's got a lot of good things cycle-wise. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't, and he always tells us either way. So let's check and see what the old clock on the wall is for Norm, and we'll be right back. So stay.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstack's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstack releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento. A pro's pro with over 50 years of experience, Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey. Because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors. This portion of Trade What You See is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Yeah, we're back, folks. I believe we have Norm Winsky in the house. Norman, welcome today.
Thank you, Larry. Thanks for having me on your show.
Okay, you're in charge, so fire away.
Okay, Larry, I was last on your show on July 7th. That was a Monday, just ahead of these coming events I'm showing you that I forecasted. And you need to know how my system works. So AC is after the close. Most of the time, things are occurring after the close overnight. The planets are 24/7. They don't go home at 5 o'clock. So, and since the day session trading is only about a fourth of a day, random distribution dictates that most of these things happen overnight. So on the 10th, after the close, the overnight, we had a full moon in the sign of Capricorn. Anytime we have, and by the way, I recommend you take a screenshot of this list here. We had a full moon in the sign of Capricorn. Anytime we have a full moon or new moon, we want to be looking at financials, grains, precious metals, and oil. And because it was in the sign of Capricorn, we're adding coffee. Every month the full moon lands in a different sign, you know. So then also that same night, we had Geo, that is short for geocentric. That's from the point of view of the Earth. Jupiter aligned with Pluto for cocoa, copper, hogs, silver, and T-bonds. Then the night of the 11th, Pluto lined up with the U.S. natal chart. What's a natal chart? That's where the planets were when something began, something was born, something began. In this case, we're talking about when the USA began on July the 4th, 1776, and Pluto aligned with where Mercury was on that day back in 1776. And we have it anytime we have something to the U.S. chart, we want to look at stocks, T-bonds, and the U.S. dollar. And that's U.S. stocks, by the way. That's specific to the USA. Then also that night, we had Saturn in Aries turning retrograde. And Saturn is coffee. We don't have any commodity liquid markets that go with Aries, futures markets. And so it's only Saturn, and that's coffee. And then we had Mercury aphelion. What is that? That's from the Greek, aphelion. Helios is sun in Greek, and the appa part means it's afar. So that's when in Mercury's 88-day cycle around the sun, it's at its farthest point. And then we want to be, Mercury is grains, and then if the sun is involved, we also want to throw in gold. And because corn is the golden green, that's an emphasis, that's like a double emphasis on corn. You notice I have that all in caps, and gold, soybeans, wheat. And then we got lots of stuff here, I know. Hang in there with me. I got some great stuff coming up too. And then the 14th, that was a Monday. The moon north node lined up with U.S. Saturn. If you want any help with any of these technical terms, give me a call. I'll give you a free class. And then we have stocks, T-bonds, U.S. dollar for that. Then we had Mercury on the night of the 17th. We had Mercury in the sign of Leo turning retrograde. And again, that was because Leo is ruled by the sun, and it's Mercury. Then we have a double emphasis again on corn, and then also gold, soybeans, and wheat. And then we had, over this past weekend, we had the moon's north node lined up with the U.S. chart for stocks, T-bonds, and the U.S. dollar. So now let's look at corn. Here we had three windows, potentially 5 points, because of the double emphasis on two of the windows. So you can see we did really well there on corn. If you're going up, we're looking for reversals. So if it's going up, we want to sell. If it's going down, we want to buy. And if it's going sideways, we do nothing. I don't know if we have one or not, but that'll be a yellow box. Green is good, and red is bad. That's pretty simple, right? By the way, everything I do here, nothing's over grade school level. Nothing's over 5th grade level there. I emphasize simplicity. So we're going up, up, up. You make a high. There we have our double window there for corn. That is the low of the month. That's pretty nice. And and then we went up here, and you had a little pullback low there with the Mercury retrograde, and then it popped up that day on Friday. So here we go. Here's soybeans. They also there's the moon there, and that was a little top. And then we had our next point there, which was the 14th was the Mercury. Into the after the close of the 14th I'm sorry about that. Anyway, that's this one here. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's after the close of the 11th, over the weekend. That's what that was. And that was the Mercury cycle, Mercury aphelion. Right, and then we made the low of the month there, and then up, and that was missed there on Friday with the Mercury retrograde. Here's the wheat. You're topping out there on the moon, full moon, and then you had a nice big drop. It did not turn there on the Mercury aphelion, so that's a miss. That's a red arrow. But we did okay here on Mercury retrograde. That was a low, and then a big reversal on Friday to the upside. Here's cocoa. I had a pullback here. Cocoa's, as you know, Larry, is now a monster. Used to be a nice, affordable market, docile market, but now in the last couple of years has become a monster. And so that's that little move there is a lot of money. I think it's about moved up about 40 cents. I think that's about $4,000 or so right there from that low to that high there. And so that was good. And then coffee, we had a miss there on coffee, and then we went sideways for the coffee. Did not work. And then we're going sideways on the hog, so we're doing nothing there. Crude oil was good. Had a nice pullback low there on the moon, and then a big rally on the crude oil. I think that was good for about $3 or $4. 65, yep, about $3. That's about $3,000 there. Here's copper making a top there, and then a pullback every penny there. And copper's worth $250, and I think that was good for about $5.70 down to about 30 cents. So it's about that's 75, 3 times 30 cents times 250, 30 times 250. Yeah, I think that's about $7,500. All right, here's silver. That was a miss there. 2 misses there with the silver.
Norm, we're going to have to take a break here pretty soon, my friend. So
okay, well, whatever you say.
No, keep going until we hear the whistle come up.
The gold is a miss there on the moon, but up here on our Mercury perihelion, that was the high of the month there. That's pretty nice, and then we went sideways here into last week. Now okay. We're up to
here comes our break. We'll be right back with Norm Winsky, folks.
Right up.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pros pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direxion. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Okay, we're back with Norm Winsky. Please continue, Norm.
Thank you, Larry. When we jumped off there, we're just getting ready to talk about the S&P. I think you might have a few folks out there that like to follow the S&P. And here we have the moon and our other point there. We had 2 points for the night of the 10th. And you see the market gap down there. And if you bought there, I allow 1 day leeway. And so if you were patient there, the next day, I don't think they took out that low. And there was you had maybe a small draw down there. And then we had more points here, 3 more points there. And then it gapped up into, I think that's Mercury. The 14th, the night of the 14th is, we had a Mercury, we had a Mercury aphelion was over here, and then we popped up into our next point there, which was the U.S. chart, and then you see that was about 70 handles from here to here, and then after that, top there, led to a drop of about close to 100 handles. I think it was about 90 to 100 handles there on that drop. And then we had a point over here for the Mercury retrograde, and then you had a down day there, pull back there into Friday, I believe. And so that was all pretty good there for the S&P. And then the T-bonds, we went 50-50 there. There's the moon and the U.S. point there, that top there. Our other 2 points there for the U.S. there, and I think that was also the U.S. Those did not work out so well. So here's the U.S. dollar. Always struck out on the U.S. dollar. There's 3 in a row. That's the strikeout zone there. And then, so that's our disaster of the day. And then we went sideways there for nothing there on the U.S. dollar. U.S. dollar, usually we do great. As you'll see, some of the currencies worked out really well. Here's the Aussie dollar. That's right near the highs of the month. And the British pounds are going pretty much sideways, so do nothing there. Canadian dollar, that's what we need. You need to see it going up or down. Canadian dollar was going up, so you sell there, and you caught a nice short-term top there. And euro is kind of going sideways there. We'll do nothing there, but the Japanese yen, which Larry was just talking about, rally into our window there. There's the top there. You sold against that high there, and then you had a big decline on the yen. Okay, I'm going to show you something now that I seldom do on Larry's show or any show, and that's I'm going to talk about. This was not on last show. I'm going to talk about my fractal model, which I did mention. I think back in February, I publish these every year. And here's the great thing that I'm doing about this. Larry's talked about Mandelbrot. He's the guy that developed chaos theory, and a branch of chaos theory is called fractals. It goes with the principle it's the January barometer is a sort of a variation or a cousin to the fractals. Is actually a fractal statement. As January goes, so goes the year. And here we have the S&P, and my blue bars I did for the whole year of 2025. I cut it off here at the end of July. But you can see it's the black bars, the actual 10-minute S&P chart, 10-minute bars, and the blue bars, the forecast I did back in February. And if you'd like to see what's going on for the rest of the year, give me a call, and we'll talk about how you can get this whole thing and maybe get a class. I do these for 28 different markets, and you get a class like 10 minutes. And the great thing I started to tell you was you don't, if you Google fractals or chaos theory, they'll probably send you into calculus. I don't do calculus. I figure out how to do this on a grade school level. I could teach a 10-year-old to do this in 10 minutes. So don't worry, you don't need to have any advanced mathematics. Just grade school simple arithmetic will do the trick, and it's really very simple and easy. All right, there you go. There's one more look at the S&P, and you can see it's been working out pretty well. I didn't have the April low there, but we did have the retest low. There was a little pullback there, as you see, in May, and I had that low due there, and then up, and so we got, and this shows that we have an upward bias here for the month of July, which I've only updated this as of about July 1, so you can see that's how it's been working so far. The prices, don't take the prices all too literally. They're on there so I can post the results. Okay, let's look ahead into the future now. Tuesday, tomorrow morning, we have a Pluto cycle, and then we want to be looking at cocoa, copper, hogs, and T-bonds. And then we have the new moon coming up in the sign of Leo on Thursday. And anytime we have a new moon, full moon, round up the usual suspects, financials, greens, precious metal, oil. And because it's in Leo, you want to emphasize corn and gold. And then we also have a lineup on the night of the 25th. That'll be the weekend. And that'll be Jupiter lining up with the U.S. chart for stocks, T-bonds, U.S. dollar. And then I'm going to take you to the next week, next Monday night, have Mercury perigee. And that's when Mercury's at its closest to the Earth. And that's corn. Mercury is corn, gold, soybeans, wheat. And it's gold because it's in Leo, right? And then we want to emphasize corn too because of that. And then Pluto is going to line up with the U.S. chart the night of the 29th for stocks, T-bonds, U.S. dollar. And then Jupiter line up with the U.S. sun on the night of the 30th for stocks, T-bonds, and the U.S. dollar. And if you don't know me, I've been doing this over 50 years now. I started doing this in college. I made enough money to buy a membership in 1975 on the Chicago Board Options Exchange. And I've been studying all this stuff all this time. And here's your free offer. First 5 people who contact me by the 24th, New Moon Day, you get a free class from me, your 50-year veteran. You get free mentoring, free instruction. By the way, the stocks are included in all these Astro points, if I didn't say that before. And I love to keep it simple. So if you want to learn complicated stuff like WD Dan, don't worry. I can redo. I got a mini class that's about 1 to 2 minutes, and I can explain everything you need to know about GAN in about 20 minutes. You learn the fractals. And I got a class that goes with that, and everything is simple. So just give me an email, and we'll set up a chat on the phone or on Teams. My contact information is coming up now. Here we go. I'm in beautiful Naples, Florida, USA. There's my telephone, 239-594-3939. You can email me or contact me on Teams at nwinski@yahoo.com. That's nwinski@yahoo.com. Looking forward to helping some of the folks there. Any questions from the comments from the Tiger's Den there, Larry?
No, it seems like we covered everything today, Norm. Thanks for checking in with us today, and we'll see you in a few weeks, okay?
All right, thanks a lot, everybody. Have a great week. Great weekend.
Okay, hold on, folks. Let's see how much time we got left on the wall here. Looks like we got 31 seconds. Oh, no, I think we're coming up for the... Stay tuned. I do have something important to show us, so stay tuned.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento. A pro's pro with over 50 years of experience, Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN has launched The Tiger's Den, hosted at Discord. TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Okay, folks, this is a chart from Larry Williams' annual forecast. You notice he was looking for a top in February in the stock market, a bottom sometime in April or May, and a rally into June or July. Here we are. July 21st is right in this area right here. So whether it's going to be correct, I don't know or not, but it's been pretty good since that level. Now, he mentions up here that it only works part of the time. We already know that, folks. That's why when you're losing cycles or patterns, you got to put a stop in there. Because if you're wrong, you got to stand aside. You know, that's basically it. That's why when we were looking at a possible high in the stock market, we were selling the weakest, which was the Russell. Next weakest, of course, was the Dow Jones. And then the strongest, of course, was the Big Daddy Rabbit, the NASDAQ, and then followed by the S&P 500. So this is what he's looking at. I'm not saying it's going to work or not, but I just want to show you what's happened so far as you're watching this. Now, tomorrow's guest will be Paula Webb. On Wednesday, we're going to have Mike Moore. Thursday, we're going to have for the whole show Bill Meridian with all of his cycles from the Foundation for the Study of Cycles that he gave in New York. And then also on Friday, we're going to have Jeff Hughes of Alpha Insights. That's what is going to be our guest scheduled for the week. All right. So those that we're watching here today. And of course, you know, keep an eye on all of these things. If you have your positions on, I always give you the stop levels that I'm looking at. You know, we're still in the soybeans. We got a nice profit in that. Got that, you know, put it locked up. And then we have, we're looking for a spot here get short the Treasury bonds. Right now it has a small loss in it. And then also we still have the Russell position on with a stop at that 2280 level. It's a 2258 or something like that right now. So that's what we're watching today. So live every day in an attitude of gratitude, and may God bless.